Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me, people? Can you hear me, people out there in the internet world? We got an emergency live stream. An emergency live stream because the trailer for Dune Part 2, the full trailer, not a teaser, has in fact been released. And we are going to take a look at it. Now let me make sure that everything is going well. I did not create a thumbnail for this video, but I should have. But I didn't. So everybody just make sure the audio is good. Make sure that my audio is good. And all that job. People saying I love the new intro. Thank you, thank you. Let me just take care of something real quick. So we're going to get to reacting to the trailer very quickly. Very soon. Just before we get to that, I just want to real quick make a thumbnail before we get to the Dune trailer. I'm freaking excited. Okay, I'm just going to go here. Yeah, we're going to test the audio. We're going to do all this. All right. I just woke up. I had no idea this was even happening. This is like a total surprise to even me. I need to open up Photoshop. We'll get to it in just a second. Bear with me, guys. Bear with me, guys. We're going to react to this trailer. It just came out. It literally just came out. I turned on the stream, not even prepared. Didn't even make a thumbnail for this yet. But let me real quick go into Photoshop so I can put this, so I can be a proper YouTuber. There's already that audio glitch in my most recent video that I'm in the process of fixing, but yeah. Oh God, I hate Microsoft OneDrive. I don't need two versions of my desktop Microsoft OneDrive. Anyway. We're almost ready. Give me 1 second. I have not seen the trailer. We're gonna react to it. I am so freaking excited. You guys know how Dune gets me. Like, I am ready. Oh yeah, just making the thumbnail. Just a quick thumbnail, not my best work. Definitely not my best work. Blending options. Almost ready to start, guys. I really should have waited like 5 minutes before I started the stream and done all this, but you know, kind of unprofessional. Okay. Some behind the scenes work. I know you guys can't see what I'm doing on screen right now. Just imagine that you're watching me edit an image in Photoshop. All right, export, select folder, and there we go. Now let me go over to my handy dandy YouTube lens, the lens of YouTube. Hi guys. Is there a link to the video somewhere? I found it on Twitter and I just like immediately downloaded it. But we're about to watch it, so, and the audio should be good. Okay, we're about to watch it. As soon as I get this up. Okay, now that I've done that, now that I've updated the thumbnail, let's get it on screen. Let's get it on screen. Do I have any freaking water in here? I'm freaking parched. Oh, God. Let's just do it. No more waiting. Go back. I had to like fast forward a little bit to get that thumbnail. Pausing it. You guys heard that, right? Could you guys hear that music? Could you guys hear that? Heard it, right? Just making sure the audio is working. Because I don't want another fiasco where no one can hear me and no one can hear anything. But we're like going on. Okay, you can hear it. Okay. I'm going to try and look at the chat to make sure. Make sure you guys can hear me the whole time. Okay, let's do this. Let's freaking do this. This is the full trailer. What we saw before was a teaser. This is the full trailer. Let's go.
This world is beyond cruelty.
Oh.
You've been fighting the Harkonnens for decades. My family's been fighting them for centuries. They were massacred. Alongside my father.
Your father didn't believe in revenge. You believe in Fremen.
Let me fight beside you.
Reload!
He said I got that. Thanks.
I won't be fighting for him.
Took me out of the studio for whatever reason. We're back though. It's good to break it up so they don't copyright me anyway. Let me reshare my screen. Chrome tab. Jump back a little bit. We're back. We're back. Don't worry. Let's get back into it.
I won't be fighting for him. I'm fighting for my people.
You young pup.
Young.
Do you believe in
That are sons. The prophet. Why is that a bad thing? Use it.
Because all my visions lead to horror.
Because you lose control.
Because I gain it. Johnny, do you believe in me?
Paul Atreides is still alive.
Deal with this prophet. Show me who you are.
We're getting an echo. Doubled audio.
Your father. Was a weak man.
Look who's back from the dead.
No duel must be done.
We gave them something to hope for.
That's not how!
I will love you as long as I breathe.
This prophecy is how they enslave us!
It's not a prophecy. It's a story.
I don't care what you believe. I believe. I am Paul Atreides, Duke of Arrakis. Under the blessings of God.
Oh! Woo!
You can destroy a thing has the real control of it.
Yes! Quote the book! Yes! 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 That was a trailer. That was the trailer. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. The teaser was good. The teaser was good. That left me speechless. I'm speechless. I'm speechless. I need to compose myself. I need to go get some water. I needed water before I even started streaming. I started streaming as soon as I woke up because this trailer started. I gotta get some water. That was epic. We're gonna go through that again and look at it. I'll be right back. Sorry for yelling. All right. That trailer was sick. Yeah. I found this trailer on Twitter. Secrets of Dune posted it, but like, let's get into it now. There was like, collect yourself, bud. All right, here we go. Here we go. Let's really, really look at this trailer. Let me turn it down a little bit this time so I can examine things. So right now we got Double Moon of Arrakis.
This world is beyond cruelty. You've been fighting the Harkonnens for decades.
That looks so cool. Yeah, so just Paul Atreides referencing like how cruel the Harkonnens are to Fremen. That's what the book's all about. It's like, or at least a major theme is how the Fremen are oppressed by not only the Harkonnens, but the Emperor as well. And so this here is definitely a shot of Giedi Prime, and this is probably the best shot of Giedi Prime that we've gotten so far. So that's freaking cool. The flags, and we see some, I don't know what these are, these glowing orb things. Maybe those are part of the Baron's suspenders, because he does like kind of like, he's lifted up by these suspenders because he's so big. He's got so much weight. And so those are, okay. And then we've got the ducal ring here, handed down from the Duke Leto to his son Paul Atreides. And here we've got the burning of bodies. These are Atreides soldiers, I believe. These are the burning of the bodies of the Atreides soldiers after the coup. So that's interesting. People are saying they don't see Aaliyah. Let's look. I didn't catch it the first time either. So what's happening here?
Alongside my father.
Got that painted. This must be in the palace where the Atreides were staying.
Taking revenge.
Okay, so this seems to this is interesting to me. They're having Rebecca Ferguson's character here talking to Paul, and she's saying, "Your father doesn't believe in revenge." We've definitely got Iragun. Definitely got Iragun. What did I say? Irulan. We've definitely got Irulan. So anyway, she's saying your father doesn't believe in revenge, but immediately the next cut is to her attacking, you know, this guy, this Harkonnen soldier, or perhaps a Sardic. I think that's a Harkonnen soldier. So that indicates to me that maybe she's a little bit angry, that maybe she believes in revenge. Okay, what's going on?
Let me fight beside you.
Oh, the Thopter exploding looks sick. You can see right there, just for a split second, the shield being breached before the explosion. Sick. So that's pretty sick. So what I'm looking forward to seeing in this movie, a big thing that I'm looking forward to seeing, is more, yeah, Iragon, a new character, exactly. What I'm looking forward to seeing is the Fremen and how they operate in the desert, because I've always said that the Fremen have this very like intimate connection to the desert. They've been there for generations and generations, so they know it in and out, and it is truly their home. It's on, the Harkonnens are on their playing field. And also there's way more Fremen than the Harkonnens realize and the Emperor realizes, so that's a really interesting fact they have on their side. So in this second movie, we're really going to be seeing them just kind of screw up Harkonnen operations and, you know, really slow down spice production. And that's a big problem for the Emperor. Slowed spice production is a big problem for the Emperor, is a big problem for the Landsraad, and it's a big problem for the Guild. So the Fremen, through desert power, are able to really like get a chokehold on the entire empire, right? They've been oppressed for so long, and finally being organized in this way under a new leader. Who's that new leader? Muad'Dib, obviously. But then, at the same time, it's way more complicated than that, and we're getting into that into the trailer itself, because I heard a little, a few lines that make reference to the complexity of this. Because yes, Paul is kind of helping them overcome oppression and kind of helping them get back at the Harkonnens and get back at the Emperor, but it's also, he's setting them on to a really dark path. But we'll get into that. Let's continue forward in the trailer.
Reload!
He said I got that. Thanks.
Fremen language sounds really cool, by the way. I love in movies when they create entire languages. It's so cool. I'm pretty sure that's not a real language, right? That's Fremen. You are not welcome here.
He said I got that. Thanks.
So Paul Atreides is definitely going to have to go through the process of proving himself to the Fremen. So yeah. So I think these here walking up, these to me look like Harkonnen soldiers walking up.
For him. I'm fighting for my people.
You young pup.
Oh, I can't wait for this reunion. That's nice. It's a nice moment.
Do you believe in Paul?
There are signs. The prophet. Why is that a...
What does Stilgar say?
Believe in Paul.
There are signs.
There are signs. So the Lady Jessica says, do you believe in Paul? And Stilgar says, there are signs. But I don't know if Stilgar understands at this point that the reason that there are signs is because the Bene Gesserit have set all this in motion. They've put all these things in place so that Paul looks like the prophet. He looks like the Lisan Al Gaib. And Stilgar here is really being manipulated by the Bene Gesserit. I mean, yeah.
Sign.
Whether, I don't know. I'm pretty sure Jessica, being the Bene Gesserit she is conscious of this fact. Jessica is always aware of the fact that manipulation is going on. She is a Bene Gesserit. They're always trying to manipulate. And even in this moment, where she's like stripped of everything, she's in rags, her hair is down, she's just like stripped of everything, she's still manipulating. Stilgar, you believe in Paul, right? I'm gonna be able to use Paul to manipulate you, right? To get us back into where we need to be, right? Yeah, it's interesting. I'm not saying Jessica's a bad person, but the Bene Gesserit never stop being manipulative. You can never really, really trust a Bene Gesserit because at the end of the day, she always leans towards servitude of the sisterhood. And even though at this point Jessica is defiant, she leans back into the direction later on. But even though at this point Jessica is defiant, there's still that manipulative quality. It's always going to exist in a Bene Gesserit.
Believe in Paul.
There are signs.
There are signs. Yeah, so we talked about this look from Stilgar when we watched the teaser. This look, this is Stilgar coming to full belief. This is when Stilgar looked at Paul Atreides and he said, this is the Lisan Al Gaib. This is the voice from the other world. So I think what we're seeing in this moment in this trailer is Stilgar fully buy in. So that's pretty cool.
The prophet. Why is that a bad thing? Use it.
It's interesting that Gurney has the immediate instinct to use this idea of being a prophet to their advantage as well.
Bad thing. Use it.
Because all my visions lead to horror.
Oh, that's so cool. So what we're seeing here, the conversion of the water of life. We talked about this when we were reacting to the first trailer. This is the first look at the actual weird blue liquid that is made from the bile of a drowned sandworm. That's so cool. And we see Jessica ingest the water of life. And right here, we see the Fremen wild Reverend Mother. So the Bene Gesserit are not the only ones. I mean, the Bene Gesserit are not the only ones that can tap into these, like, this human potential, right? Because the Bene Gesserit have been manipulating bloodlines for so long, and just because, not exactly that. It's a little bit vague. It could have something to do with the fact that the Bene Gesserit have been manipulating bloodlines here and there, but more likely, and more relevant is the fact that in certain cultures where people are being tested to their extremes, wild Reverend Mothers can emerge, and that's what happened among the Fremen. So the Fremen have had wild Reverend Mothers for quite some time. And wild Reverend Mothers, like the Bene Gesserit, are able to unlock their genetic memory through the spice agony. And that's what's happening to Jessica in this scene right here. She consumes the water of life, the deadly, deadly spice essence, and converts it inside of her own body. And in the process of that conversion, her genetic memory is unlocked, and then she has the memories of her ancestors. It's really cool, and it's really nice to see that in the trailer.
Because you lose control.
Because I gain it. Johnny, do you believe in me?
Yeah, Paul is, I think, he should. I didn't see that in the David Lynch version as much. Paul being tortured by his visions so much. The David Lynch version of Paul Atreides seems so sure of himself. This version, I feel like, is a little bit closer to the book. And here we go. This is, it looks to be Kaitain, the Emperor's planet. Let's take a look.
Paul Atreides is still alive.
Oh, just a little bit, just a couple of frames. So right here we've got the Emperor, Christopher Walken in his garden, the Princess Irulan talking to him, and then we've got another shot that's somewhere else. Got Irulan all done up in her like almost medieval, I don't even know, this headpiece looks very, very cool, and she's telling the Emperor, Christopher Walken, Paul Atreides is still alive. So that's very interesting. Very, very, very interesting. And I just needed to see Christopher Walken as the Emperor to know. I can just tell. This is going to be great. This is going to be great. We only need one look in the trailer. Then we got the Thumper.
With this prophet.
So Paul's eyes are blue within blue here. Now, if I remember correctly, in the other trailer, I didn't see his blue within blue eyes, so I thought the worm riding scene might be taking place earlier. But here, the blue within blue eyes are present. So if this is that scene, then maybe the visual effects just weren't finished in that trailer. So we will see.
This prophet.
Of course, got Fade Rotha.
Show me who you are.
Oh, that's such an insane scene in the book
Your father.
with the slave and the arena. Yeah. So Paul's having these visions. We can see the symbolism here, right? He's stroking his dead father's ring. He's thinking about the legacy and the future of House Atreides and his father's legacy. So in the book we have that quote. How does it go? I can't. My father's shrine. He's talking about the Fremen moving throughout the universe in this vicious swarm, like worshiping at the shrine of his dead father. Basically, like this terrible war in the name of House Atreides. Like the symbolism here is dark, very, very, very dark. The burning, melting seal of House Atreides. Very, very, very dark symbolism.
Was a weak man. Was a weak man.
Damn.
Look who's back from the
Look
dead.
at that. Light it up.
Was a weak
Oh,
man.
let me hear that again.
Show me who you are.
Wait, check that out. What the heck? Look at these guys in the background. Look at these insane headpieces they got on. You see these like pointed things? What the heck are those guys?
Your father. Was a weak man. Look who's back from the dead. Now do what must be done.
Jesus. Wow, I like him. The robe looks really cool.
And to hope for.
So we discussed this moment in the teaser trailer. She's talking about the Bene Gesserit. We gave them something to hope for, and him screaming, "That's not hope." What she's talking about is the Missionara Protectiva, and the Bene Gesserit seed myth. They basically create religions, and that's what they did on Arrakis, and they do this so that they can manipulate the people. They set up certain myths and legends so that when they need to, they can manipulate the people of any given planet. And Jessica here is framing it as, We gave them hope. We gave them something to believe in. And Paul's like, that's not hope. You just use this to manipulate them. So, as I was saying earlier, Jessica is conditioned by the Bene Gesserit. She is bought in. She is bought in to the Bene Gesserit. So that's the thing. Whereas like Paul, he wasn't raised by the Bene Gesserit. He was raised by his mother and his father. Right? So he has the influence of his father as well. It's not solely the Bene Gesserit. God, look at this. That looks epic. I wonder if that's...
As long as I breathe.
I wonder if that's the final battle at the end. I know there's going to be multiple battles in this movie. So...
I will love you as long as I breathe.
See, hiya. The Chani and Paul love story. That's a great sci-fi, kind of tragic love story, if you ask me. Classic.
This prophecy is how they enslave us.
I wonder who Chani is screaming that at. So Chani's, you can hear Zendaya's voice. This prophecy is how they enslave us. I wonder if she's screaming that at Stilgar? Who is she saying that to?
This prophecy is how they enslave us.
Oh, Feyd-Rautha versus Paul. I gotta say, I'm digging all of the Princess Irulan's chainmail, metal, medieval style headpieces. They look freaking sick. I'm digging them.
How they enslave us.
It's not a prophecy. It's a story.
I don't care what you believe. I believe.
Damn. Who is he? Okay, so I feel like that is Zendaya talking to Stilgar. Dang. Oh, this is gonna be so This is gonna be so freaking good. Oh God. I mean, okay. Just from watching the trailers, this trailer, the layers of complexity in this story that are shining through already. The conflict between Stilgar and Chani. So Chani knows Paul, right? I think Chani, more than any other person, has seen the human in Paul. This could be Paul, I don't know. Chani, more than anybody, has seen the human in Paul, right? So Chani wouldn't see him as a deity as much as some of the other Fremen, specifically Stilgar. So yeah. Someone's saying he's talking with Paul there. I guess he's talking to Paul there. I can't really see whose head that is. I guess it is Paul. But I don't know. I could see that conflict being something that comes up, and especially when we have that. Who is Zendaya screaming at, though? Who is Zendaya talking to in the moment? Is she screaming at Paul? I don't know.
What you believe, I believe.
But Stilgar saying, I don't know, I don't care what you believe, I believe. You know what I'm saying? He needs, it's almost like he needs to believe it. You know what I mean? And that's what Frank Herbert was getting at. This kind of human desire to be led, this human desire for just to have like this something to lead them, to have something that's greater than them to look up to. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. James Dahl says most likely Warner Brothers will demonetize this video so you can support the channel through the PayPal link right there, because Warner Brothers have demonetized every single time that I've reacted to one of their trailers. Anytime I react to a Dune trailer on this channel, it gets demonetized. So if you want to help this channel out, please hit up the PayPal link. Please. Thanks, guys. Anyway. Yeah, look at him. Look at him. Okay, that shot is Stilgar. Look at him. He's wild. That is wild. He's wild with fanaticism, right? He's just like, this is it. It's like, am I going to die? He's like, I will die in this battle for Muad'Dib. That's what I'm seeing on his expression right there. Look at that. Look at that. The coming of Shai-Hulud. Jesus. That's going to be epic. I can't wait to see that in IMAX. Yes. I can't.
Who can destroy a thing has the real control of it.
The shield wall is gone. Okay, yeah, the last few seconds of that trailer are so fucking epic. I'm speechless by the last few seconds. Just everything from like the crowds of Fremen, long live the fighters. He who can destroy a thing has control over it. The charging of the capital Just everything. The bombing of the shield wall. Look at that. This is what we've wanted. You gotta admit, like, even if you're a big fan of David Lynch, you're a big fan of Joe Dorowski, you're a big fan of, like, the miniseries, even if you didn't like the first movie that much, you've gotta admit, from this trailer, they're doing the book. This looks like the book. This looks like the closest that we've had to the book ever in any adaptation. You have to admit it. If you've read the book, you have to admit it. They've got all the beats. They've got the complexity of what it means for Paul Atreides to come in here as the savior hero of the Fremen. They've got the bombing of the shield wall. They've got Fade Ratha. They've got the love story between Paul and Chani. They've got, like, the dynamics of the Fremen culture. They've got the dynamic of the Bene Gesserit, Missionaria Protectiva, and how that affects everything else. Thanks, internet, for just cutting out for no reason. Thanks a lot. My internet totally went off. I don't even know where it cut off, but yeah, they've got everything. The only thing that I don't see is Aaliyah. All right, but they mentioned Aaliyah in the last movie, so they mentioned that Jessica is pregnant. So Jessica is pregnant, so the baby is there. They would have to change the story significantly to drop Aaliyah. So Aaliyah has to be there. Has to be there. Yeah, Warner Brothers taking me down. Leave me alone, Warner Brothers. I don't know. My internet does this thing where it randomly disconnects whenever it wants. It's annoying. But we are back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I don't know where I ended, though. I don't know where it ended. That's so annoying. My internet will just drop out sometimes. Just thank you, whatever giant corporation that I pay internet to. Anyway. The trailer got everything, guys. You gotta admit it. The only thing that I'm not seeing explicitly in the trailer is Aaliyah, which I want to see Aaliyah, and I can't imagine that Aaliyah isn't in the movie. So I guess we'll see. But yeah, what do you guys think about that trailer? Let me know. So I'm looking at the chat now. Let me actually pull up my chat so that I can see you guys. I'm looking at you guys. Hello, people. Hello, people in my community, in my Quinn's Ideas community. So I'm very excited about this trailer. I think it looks really good. It just kind of blew my mind. And a little bit speechless. The ending of it really, really got me. The he who can destroy a thing has the control over it, and then the bombing of the shield wall in this shot right here is just, like, insane. The Emperor looks pretty good. Like, I think a lot of people see Walken as kind of a comedic actor, but Walken looks like he's going to bring a lot of seriousness to this role, and that's Denis Villeneuve, I think, bringing that performance out of him. Like, as a director, that's just who he is. Someone says, isn't Aaliyah the one at 121? Let's check. I didn't see. I don't see Aaliyah. If Aaliyah was in this shot, I don't think she would be standing alongside the Emperor. She would be on the side of the Atreides. So I don't see her here. I don't see her here. Let's see. James Doll Music, maybe it's blurred at 2:30. Let's see if we can find Aaliyah. She's got to be in the movie. There's no way, because they mentioned that Jessica's pregnant. What happens to the baby? That could be Aaliyah, but I assumed that was Paul Atreides, right? What do you guys think? Is that Aaliyah or is that Paul Atreides? For whatever reason, I assumed that was Paul. It kind of looks like an adult to me, but it could be a weird child. a weird like like a weird like fully adult mind child. Someone says Walken is crazy and scary playing a gangster. He would be good as Emperor. Yeah. Yeah, I'm guessing that's Paul. Someone saying that's 100% Aaliyah. Some people think it's Paul. Yeah. Okay. Shouldn't Paul have the eyes of Ibad when the shield wall goes down? Let's see. He does. He does. I think it's just, yeah, he totally does. Like, look right there. The eyes of Abad in this Dune are a little bit, are like, I think more understated than in the book. I think the irises should be a lot darker if it was totally book accurate. But yeah, he's got the blue within blue. You can see the blue tinting there and there, yeah. And then when it glows, you can't really see it as much. But God, that shot's just, wow. Wow. It's so epic. At 121, the person with the knife is either Aaliyah or Paul. Oh, I definitely assume that was Paul, the person with the knife. Wouldn't this be in the scene when he's fighting Feyd-Rautha? I mean, the legs do look like they could be a little short, potentially. I don't know. I'm thinking that's Paul. Thinking it's Paul. Could be Aaliyah. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. Someone says, I'm in love with Paul Atreides' hair. Does look good. He's got it nice and blown out. This is, like, I wonder what shot of the Beast this is. He looks like he's a bit afraid. And if the Beast Raban is looking afraid, there's only really one scene that I can think of from the book that would strike fear into the Beast Raban. So if it's that scene, then are we sure this isn't rated R? How far are we going to go? And look at Chani too, like just totally just battle seasoned, covered in blood. They're all covered in blood. They've been killing all day. And I love how the Fremen actually look like people that have lived in the desert. I feel like this is the first time that the Fremen look like people that live in the desert. Definitely not in the David Lynch Dune. Like, they're so pale in the David Lynch's Dune. It's like, you people have never seen the sun. Like, the desert, please. Wow. Explosions. More explosions. Look at how many of them there are. God, I would honestly, I'm very afraid of heights. So I could never stand on a cliff like this. I could never stand even slightly to the edge of a cliff like this. I feel like I'd get dizzy and just fall. God, look at this. So, in the Dune universe, they do have, like handheld, like pew pew type weapons, like las guns and stuff. But there was a shift at some point in their history towards hand-to-hand combat. And the reason that was because of the invention of shields. When a shield does not have a good reaction when it comes into contact with a laser gun. In fact, the reaction is quite literally nuclear. And for that reason, when it comes to battles, no one wants to like blow up their own team too. So it's not worth it to use laser guns when other people might have shields. So hand-to-hand combat is the deal, because you don't want to like kill everybody, because then what's the point? So that's why we see this type of battle hand-to-hand, and it's less of the laser gun stuff that you typically see in science fiction. And that's part of the thing that I love about Dune too, is that Frank Herbert, well, all science fiction, right? Science fiction takes an idea, a real idea that exists, and it says, okay, what if I like expand this or like put it on a cosmic scale, right? So Frank Herbert just takes feudalism, and then he's like, in space. It's like, what if I put it in space? How bad could I make it? And yeah, guess what? It's really, 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 really bad.
He who can destroy a thing has the real control of it.
Jesus Christ. So, oh God. So the significance of the nukes, and this is a minor spoiler, but there's a reason that the usage of the nukes at the end is so insane and important. Because all the great houses, they all got their family atomics. They all got their nukes. But there's been an agreement right? The agreement is we don't use our nukes on each other, and we preserve the nukes for a non-human threat. That's what the nukes are supposed to be for in Dune. A non-human threat, right? And it's that vague. It's left open like that, right? So that could mean two things, right? Aliens, or it could be a reference to machine intelligence, right? So that's what the nukes were supposed to be preserved for. So that's why it's so crazy that at the end they're using these nukes. It's like, hey, we were supposed to never do that. So yeah. Yeah. Nuke. You know, someone says gunpowder must be too expensive. I don't know why they don't use gunpowder. I mean, I guess because gunpowder, would that work as well against the shield? Because, you know, the slow blade penetrates the shield, right? So I feel like a projectile like that maybe just bounces off, right? Maybe that's the deal with it. Maybe that's how Frank Herbert was thinking. Someone says they consider Paul a non-human. No, they do not consider Paul a non-human. Paul passes the human test initially. So yeah. I mean, but Paul does throughout the course of the book. I think that first book especially. I think I said this in like one of my earliest Ultimate guides. Is that Jessica is kind of the grounding point in that book. Because like as it goes on, especially towards the end, I like, I don't know, kind of like mentally, Paul becomes less and less human and more of this divine being that can see all these futures, and he becomes less human in a sense, which is really interesting to me. Let's see. What other directors do you think could pull off Dune? Other directors. I think, okay, here's the thing. I think that, hear me out, I think that Guillermo del Toro would have done a really insane, weird Dune. I really do. It would be totally different from Denis Villeneuve's Dune, but it would be so weird, and I would, the look of it, I feel like would be super cool. So Guillermo del Toro, I think, would do a really insane Dune that was like super dark and twisted and had like a crazy look to it. So yeah, that's my suggestion. By the way, while you guys are here, just so you know, Quinn's Ideas we are starting a new Quinn's Ideas podcast called Cosmic Chronicles, and that's gonna be every 2 weeks right now, every Friday. So Cosmic Chronicles will basically be a podcast where we take any specific science fiction concept or like story or set of ideas and break them down in a podcast. And I just really wanted to bring you guys more long form content. And a lot of people have been asking me for a podcast for like so long now. It's been one of the most requested things that I get. So yeah, I decided to finally listen to you guys and bring you guys the Cosmic Chronicles podcast. So be on the lookout for that starting this week. So that's super exciting. Yeah, I want to show you guys the little thing the little thingamajig that I made for it. Where is it? I can't find it. It's on Twitter. Let me pull up Twitter here. And there we go. So yeah, Cosmic Chronicles podcast with Quinn. So someone should be posting the link in the chat. James posted the link in the chat. Go subscribe to the channel. You can get it like on all of your places where you get podcasts, like Apple Podcast, Amazon, all those places. So yeah, that's gonna be super fun. Any topic that you want, like, and then also like the thing is with YouTube, I always want to do like more serious books, but you know, we can do more types of things on here. Maybe talk about Futurama when it comes out. But anyway, yeah, just thought I'd put that out there for you guys. So anyway, any more questions about the trailer? Anybody else got any more things to say? Any more input? Jenny of Oldstones, thank you so much for your super chat. Jenny of Oldstones, you've been in the chat for a while. Jenny of Oldstones has been rocking with my YouTube channel for years. years and years and years. Since I like first started almost. So what's up? Hey, all I know about Dune is you taught me. I found you and Dave in the late 2021. I think they'll show Aaliyah the last second of the last trailer. I think so too. There's no way she's totally missing. And thank you for your super chat. Yes, Timothy. Futurama is coming back. Futurama is coming back next month on Hulu. They just put out the trailer and it looks so good. Futurama is absolutely my favorite cartoon. I love it. I've been in love with Futurama ever since I was a kid. Anytime anyone asks me like what got you into science fiction, it was definitely Futurama that sowed those seeds. Someone says, I've just joined. Do I avoid this trailer? If you do not want any spoilers, I mean, maybe do avoid this trailer. This trailer has a lot of meat to it. No like total spoilers, but I think it's a great trailer. This trailer's epic. This is so much better than the first trailer that we saw. The teaser. This is a real trailer, and I think it's great. MOC says, I would love a Del Toro Dune. I think he would have done a great job. Quinn's idea is, this is not Dune related, but have you read the Book of the New Sun? Yes, I have delved into the adventures of Severian on Earth with a U. And I'm planning on covering the Book of the New Sun in a pretty significant video on the channel, and you can stay tuned for that in the future. Absolutely, Book of the New Sun. Thank you so much, Adam, for your super chat. I just woke up, guys. Sorry. Thank you so much, Adam, for your super chat. Thanks for the content. Would never manage to get through Herbert's dense writing without your guides. Any opinion on Thufir being absent in the trailer? Well, given the amount of content that needs to be in this movie, I don't think you can show everything in the trailer. We didn't see Thufir die or anything in the first movie. So Thufir is going to be in the movie, presumably, because Thufir is in this part of the book, so, and we know what role he has in this part of the book, so yeah. Phoenix Gundam says 40,000K is Dune inspired and adjacent. I do hear that often, and I have heard that for years. When I was first putting out my ultimate guide to Dune, I would get so many comments like, "Wow, this is where 40,000K got its inspiration from," and stuff like that. I have not dived that deep into any 40,000K content. I did get one of their books a while ago, but I kind of got distracted and moved on to other things before I had the chance to really like get into it. I forget what the book was called as well, but it was one that one of you guys had recommended to me. Yeah, like, look, I'm water fat. I need water. Yeah. I'm not on my Fremen. I'm one of the new Fremen, like in Children of Dune, when like the younger Fremen that are kind of like, I'm kind of Fremen. Not really. That's me. Yeah, I'm not about that Stilgar, die for Muad'Dib type stuff. I'm not about that life. I can't say that I am. When is it coming out? When is the release of Dune? It's in November. It's in November. Only in cinemas, November. So we're not getting that dual release like we got with the first Dune movie, where it went on HBO and was in cinema at the same time. It's only in cinema in November. This was a sick trailer. I know I keep saying that, but like I was not. Go back and look at my initial reaction just so when I first watched the trailer, I was not expecting it to be that good. I was kind of blindsided. I was just kind of staring and just like in awe. I think they kind of killed it, and I'm very excited for this movie. Someone says, I'm sorry, but I can't get behind an elderly Emperor Shaddam. Wasn't the David Lynch Emperor kind of old too? I don't know. I feel like he looks fine. I feel like he looks like the Emperor. He looks like a guy that's just kind of hanging out, plotting, doing sinister stuff, trying to take down houses. No, no, I think he'll kill it as the Emperor. Someone says the nuke scene. Why did they show it? Well, I don't know. Maybe if you maybe they assume that if you don't know what it is, then it's not going to be a spoiler for you. I don't know. Justin Webb, thank you so much for your super chat. Thank you for inspiring me to read Dune. I showed my youngins your 5-minute primer before Dune 2021. Thanks for the marvelous content. Well, thank you so much for your super chat and all of your support. Thank you. Someone says the hair looks bad. I don't know. It's a very minimalist approach, right? I feel like I've seen too much Star Trek, because I almost expect this garden, this like grove, wherever they are under this tree, to be like a simulation, but I know it's not because this is Dune. And look at this weird chess type game that they're playing here. Like, what's happening here? And I wonder if, I know she's not in this book, but I wonder if in the Denis Villeneuve Dune universe, if Winzashia exists at all. Because Winzashia is, I believe, is the younger sister of Irulan. So I wonder if she even exists at all in this universe. Yeah, he does look very, like, sage-like. It's very serene, kind of like Zen, right? It's not the image of the Emperor that you would immediately imagine in your mind when reading it. But something about the way this looks, just makes me feel like it's gonna work. I just feel like it's gonna work. I do. Someone says, I hope she exists. Yeah, she should. But she's not really mentioned in the book, so I'd get it if we don't see her at all, so yeah. Yeah. WB sucks. You are free advertising for the product. Absolutely. But I guarantee you, when I end this stream, I'm going to go back to my channel and it's going to be like, Warner Brothers has claimed this video because you used a little bit of their trailer. And it's just like, can you guys get it together? Like, you're lucky that I legitimately love Dune enough to, like, be here and be talking about it, because, like, oh god, you guys are so annoying. Wow. It says pretty casual outfit. It is pretty casual. Nice hat. Thank you. This is one of my classic Quinn's Ideas hats. Someone says, I think the Emperor is cunning and cold like the old guy in Westworld. I think it can work rightly if showed. I think it'll work. I think that Denis Villeneuve must have had a particular image of the Emperor that he saw and that he envisioned, and he picked Walken for a reason. I think he saw something in Walken that he could use, and he saw a quality in Walken that he could bring out on screen. And, you know, I can see it in just the couple of shots that we have here, like the sinister, like just this moment here.
Paul Atreides is still alive.
Paul Atreides is still alive, and then immediately that look of just like fuck, and then like immediate acceptance, and he's like, okay, now what am I gonna do about this, right? it's such an interesting like look, yeah, because I see he doesn't. When she says Paul Atreides is still alive, from what I'm seeing here is that he doesn't deny it, immediate acceptance, and then moving on to, okay, how do I attack this problem, right? So that's what I'm observing here. Or he could just be annoyed, or it could be that Irulan is obsessed with Paul being alive, and then he's actually annoyed with her saying it here. He's like, no, he's not. So it could be one of those two. Thank you so much, Patrick, for your super chat. Someone says, do you think Aaliyah will be in the movie? As I said before, I think Jessica is pregnant. They mentioned that in the first one, so she is having a daughter. So Aaliyah has to be in the movie. Yeah, this trailer, just beautiful trailer. Let me go back to this shot because it's cool. Let's see. Someone says, that's my headcanon. Christopher Walken can fly. And that's why he's the Emperor. Will Dune be a trilogy? I feel like it all depends on you guys. It depends on the people that go see it. If this movie can be super successful, as successful as the first one, or more so, then I think we can get another movie out of it. I don't know if Denis Villeneuve will be the one behind it. I think he did say that he would have some interest in doing Dune Messiah, and I think it would be awesome if he did. But I think it just depends on how successful this movie is if we continue forward. That's really the bottom line. It's all about money in Hollywood, and that's really all there is to it. Like, there's a reason that there's like 8 Fast and the Furious movies, or 9. How many of them are there? Fast and the Furious? There's a reason there's so many of them, because they come out and they make the entirety of Dune in a weekend. Right? You know what I mean? So there's a reason that there's like freaking 400 of those, and it's all to do with money, and that's just like the reality of it. So, gotta go see it. You gotta go see it. Is there really 11? Are there really 11 Fast and the Furious movies? You're insane. You're lying to me. You're literally lying to me. You're literally freaking lying to me. Why are there okay? Why are there 11 though? Why are there like 11? That doesn't make any sense. Why are there so many? Like, what is the story? What could the story possibly be? Like, when I was like a child, Fast and the Furious came out, and they're just racing cars like in a city. So what is it even about? I don't know. Whatever. It's about family? What? People like cars and explosions. Yeah, that's probably all there is to it, honestly. That's all there is to it. Someone says, Quinn, how realistic would a Messiah adaptation be? I saw the 2003 sci-fi mini Messiah episode, and I felt like it didn't give the story justice because they wanted to cut a lot of the politicking and dialogue. Yeah, a Messiah... God, a Messiah would be a hard movie to do, I'm not gonna lie. Dune Messiah is a hard adaptation. It is. It is. I don't know. If I was in charge of doing it, I would be consulting with different fans of the book, different people that have read the book, and then also consulting with like different writers and screenwriters, and just I feel like we would have to collaborate on making something that worked for screen, and that could be moved from that book format to screen, because the structure of Messiah is weird even for a normal book, right? So a movie would be even more difficult to pull off, and it would require a lot of effort and a lot of work and a lot of talent. So I'm not going to lie to you and be like, okay, this is an easy thing to adapt. And actually, one of the topics on the podcast, Cosmic Chronicles, coming up, my new podcast, will be like challenges in adaptation, challenges when it comes to like books being adapted to movies or TV shows. There's always challenges that we face. As viewers of things, like we just go in and watch it, it's easy for us to be like, oh, this is really different from the book, or like to like kind of crap all over it. But the process of adaptation is legitimately very difficult and not easy. And while there are certain cases, well, they'll take something that's brilliant and beautiful in its source material form and then just like totally destroy it in adaptation form. That's not always the case, and I think in general people do try. In general. Sometimes they don't, but in general. But yeah. Messiah is pretty depressing. I agree. It is. It does have that does not feel good to read, because it's like the demystification of the hero, kind of. Yeah, it's really, really... Frank Herbert was trying to say something with that book. It's like he gave us Dune, and then he was like, now I'm gonna tell you what I really meant by that. And it's not pleasant, right? It's not a pleasant read. Which is why I do think in the original miniseries, they did blend Dune Messiah with Children of Dune. I think that was the reason that they did that, because Dune Messiah kind of ends part way through the saga, right? And then it isn't until Children of Dune that you get any kind of real sense of completion, right? And the story is not resolved by Dune Messiah, first of all. Yeah. Someone says Messiah was supposed to be the end of the first book. Is that true? Is that something that Frank Herbert said? I haven't heard that. Someone says he's right, though. The spice was hurting humanity. That's arguable. You know, the whole point of Dune is that humans were using technology as a crutch, but then it's kind of like the humanity, we just get hooked on another crutch, spice melange. So it's you shifted from one crutch to another. So that is an interesting way to view it, kind of. Let's see. I've only read the first 3 books. Why do people either love or hate the 4th book and are nowhere in between? Well, God Emperor of Dune is definitely my favorite book in the series. And it's the book where Frank Herbert is really making sure you understood him. Like, Frank Herbert is trying to... In God Emperor of Dune, Frank Herbert is like, I really want you to understand what I meant by this whole thing. And I think it's polarizing because, for one, like, you have Children of Dune, which reads more like an epic, more similar to the first book. And then you have God Emperor of Dune, which reads more like a future history. It's like this sad... It's like the sad last 30 days of this worm god. And his, like, last thoughts and, like, his last things that have to be written. It's a really weird book. It's a really weirdly structured book, and everyone that you know from the other books is long dead, so it, like, jumps, like, 3,000 years. It's just different. It's just different. So you got the first 3, and then you've got God Emperor of Dune, which acts as a bridge, and then you've got the second 2 books, which were supposed to be the beginning of a new trilogy. So you got the first 3, the middle one, God Emperor of Dune, and the last 3. So think of God Emperor as like the hinge of the other 2, the hinge, you know. And it's a weird book. It's a testing. It's the moment where you're put to the test. Like, can you really hang with the whole Dune thing? And if you can get through God Emperor of Dune, then you'll be fine. But yeah. I don't want to spoil too much of God Emperor of Dune because God Emperor of Dune is such like an experience. Like, if you have not gotten into God Emperor of Dune, it's such an experience to read. It's mind-opening. You really get a sense for Frank Herbert and what he thought and his philosophy on a lot of different things. And you really get to, like, oh, this is what he thought about the world, and this is his point behind writing the Dune series. And I think to really get what he was saying with Dune, you need to read God Emperor of Dune. You do. Someone says, I like how you said it was a test. I mean, it is a test. It definitely is a test. Like, the same way that Late to the Second is testing humanity, Frank Herbert is testing us with that book. And every time I read it, I got, like, a new... I picked up new stuff. Every single time. Sheza out of nowhere says, been a fan of yours for a long time. Would not be so hype about Dune if you hadn't gone through your guide first. Love your work. Thank you so much for your super chat. Thank you for being here. Thanks everyone for being here. Yeah, like I said, I had no idea this trailer was coming out. Super excited that it's here. Freaking great. Just look at that. God. Geedy Prime. Yeah, so definitely the Baron is floating around on his suspenders. What are they called? Suspensors, for sure. Yeah, look at that. Ooh, I need like a gif of this. Jesus. Yeah. So anyway, another super chat. So hyped for Dune Part 2 and for the content as always. Also, the game they are playing is Chips. It's in Appendix of Dune. Such a nice nerdy touch. Oh, interesting. Quinn, have you read Book of the New Sun? Yes, and a video is coming. People keep asking me for it. Yeah, totally have. So, actually, let's watch the trailer one more time before we go. Let's watch it one more time.
This world is beyond cruelty. You've been fighting the Harkonnens for decades. My family's been fighting them for centuries. They were massacred. Alongside my father.
Your father didn't believe in revenge. You believe in Fremen.
Let me fight beside you.
Let me fight beside you.
Reload!
The Fremen are really gonna fuck up Spice production for the Harkonnens. They are not gonna let them have an easy time.
He said I got that. Thanks.
I won't be fighting for him. I'm fighting for my people.
Your young pop.
Yeah, so I hope I hope we get to see a little bit of what Gurney is up to. Because Gurney and Paul are definitely separated for a significant amount of time, and this is their when they finally see each other again after so long of being separated on Arrakis and not knowing if either was alive.
Do you believe in Paul?
There are signs. The prophet. Why is that a bad thing? Use it.
Because all my visions lead to horror.
Jesus.
Because you look.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't really make that much sense for them to do the Water of Life scene if Aaliyah wasn't a part of the story, right? Because that's such an important moment for Aaliyah, and they're showing this in the trailer at least. So if there was no Aaliyah, this scene like loses so much of its impact.
Because you lose control.
Because I gain it. Johnny, do you believe in me?
Paul Atreides is still alive.
Deal with this prophet. Show me who you are.
Let's take another look at this guy. Look at that. Look at that. What the? That's so scary. I don't like it. I don't like that. That freaks me out. That thing could die. You know, I'd hit that thing with a flamethrower. I don't know what this is. I don't like it. I don't like vague, ambiguous things with weird pointy heads. That freaks me out. Like, that's not cool. That is not cool.
Your father. Was a weak man.
Oh, shut up. Who is the Emperor to call the Duke Leto weak? You know what? You're just freaking jealous. He's just freaking jealous. Weak. You're weak. You're weak. And your floating palace sitting on your throne of gold, please.
Weak man. Look who's back from the dead. Now Dune must be done.
We gave them something to hope for.
Just like the mystic quality of this, as he walks through the Fremen, and they part as if they are the Red Sea being parted by Moses. You know, he is the prophet. He is the prophet. That's what this scene says. This to me, it's framed similarly in one of the best, coolest moments in Game of Thrones, outside of the city of Yunkai, when the slaves come out and they lift Daenerys, and you have that shot coming over, like the birth of a Messiah. You know, yeah, that's really cool to me.
We gave them something to hope for.
That's not hard!
I will love you as long as I breathe.
This prophecy is how they enslave us!
It's not a prophecy. It's a story.
I don't care what you believe. I believe.
Shai Halud.
I am Paul Muad'Dib Atreides, Duke of Arrakis.
He who can destroy a thing has the real control of it.
That's it right there. Oh God, they know how to get me. They know how to get me with the book quotes. You get me with the book quotes. That's how you get me. You know, like every time there was like a direct quote from the book in the first part, I'm just like, yeah, give it to me. Feed me that. Feed me those good Frank Herbert lines, man. Feed me those good Frank Herbert lines. Someone says so over the top. I'm worried. It's not over the top. It looks great. It looks great. I think it looks great. And I think you can see by the trailer that there's a lot of quiet. There's a lot of quiet moments. You know, we got a lot of quiet moments between Paul and the Fremen, between Paul and Chani, between the Emperor and Irulan. Yeah, I feel like there's going to be quiet, calm moments. Every place in which the Emperor is shown seems very serene. Like the Emperor, yeah, very, very serene, you know? I don't know. I'm here for it. Personally, I am ready. I am excited. That got me going. I hope you guys enjoyed my reaction. If you want to go back and see my original reaction, just rewind it. Sorry, I screamed a little bit at the end. I apologize. I screamed. I got very excited. The last, like, I don't know, 10 seconds, 15 seconds of the trailer is just so epic. Like, the last 20 seconds of this trailer goes so hard, and it's just like, okay, I'm sorry. Sorry for the screaming. Anyway, I think we got to get out of here now, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Check out the new podcast that just launched, Cosmic Chronicles. Love you guys so much. I put out a new video today. I still got to edit a little audio glitch that happened. But once I get that done, it'll be good. I'm still trying to fix this problem that happens in my videos from time to time. Whereas for whatever reason, the audio will bug out and it'll create this and it won't be present until after the video renders. So it'll like the video, because like a lot of times my software will just like it'll upload the video. It'll render and then upload. And then it'll come to find out there's this audio glitch and I have to go into the YouTube laggy editor and edit it. And it's very, very annoying and frustrating. And I feel bad every time because I'm like, oh my God, I'm like ruining people's auditory experience. Like I try to curate a very specific sound and feeling on my channel where it's calm and quiet. And to have that sound is just like so frustrating and annoying. And I'm just like, oh, I'm so sorry. And I feel so bad every time. But I'm going to work on that and try and fix that. And thank you guys so much for sticking with me. I know I've been like not as present for the last couple of weeks. We've been working on the podcast, working on other things, developing other things. But thank you guys so much for coming and joining and watching me talk about this. You guys are amazing. Peace out. See you later.